can't see the forest if you're looking at the trees.
Yo, it's your boy SKANDOUZ, the Hip Hop Original, and we're here, Head to Head, Season 5, Episode 4, and I'm with a brand new group made up of two hip hop legends, man. I've got Pav4n, I've got SonnyJim, and together they are the Pataka Boys.
Yeah, you
say Pataka Boys is how you say it. Pataka, which means fireworks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We was going to call the group Packy Safari, but as Sonny said, you got off lightly.
Wicked, man. So we're gonna talk about how the group came together. We're gonna talk about this project that's about to drop, the shows that's about to kick off, the singles, the visuals, all of that, man. But let's start at the beginning, man. Tell me about where the idea for this group came from, and how you guys came together.
Well, yo, it's mad. I mean, obviously, we've known each other for like 20 years now. You know what I'm saying? Since back in the days, since Dented Records days and all of that shit. But pandemic time, I started a record label called Foreign Currency, and I was putting on a lot of South Asian, Indian artists who weren't really getting the recognition because their music was a bit too niche for there, but weren't really getting any kind of global look and stuff. And I found this producer called Kartik. It's just mad, like, you know, it's just literally, he was like, yo, I just made a new beat tape today. Yeah. Next day I got a new beat tape, and every single beat tape he's sending me just sounds like another fucking, somewhere between Madlib and Fly Low and like that whole genre, but the way he was chopping samples was kind of like Doom, and his understanding of, it's just mad. I was just like, who the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying?
Instead of all the like, you know, like how those guys will have like some cartoons sliced in, or some pimp shit sliced in, or some old rap, like he'll just be flipping it and having like some old Indian, like the same wave, same style.
Yeah. But with Indian records, like
with his influence,
like
you know
niche dialogues from like the 60s and 70s, and just really like, and then he was just really in the cut with it. So I sent Sonny the beats because I was like, yo, listen to this shit. And yeah, she was like, yeah, cool. But like, it's mad because when he sent me the beats, I was like, yo, you know, certain times you just get a beat, rap on it, whatever. But I was like, oh, yeah, I need to think about this shit. I felt like I needed to up my game, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anyway, so 2-2s now, it's about...
So Kartik, is he based in the UK? Or
no, he's a kid from
never
India,
even been to the UK.
Oh, bro, until we got there, he'd never been on a flight in his life, bro. Like when he was sending me those beats, he was like 17 or something, 17, yeah, like 17. Ooh. And, you know, I started speaking to him, and he was like, bro, he was still in school, you know? And it was just mad, right? So I just was like, yo, just stop releasing a new beat tape every day. Just relax. You know what I'm saying? If you get, like, even if you go to his Bandcamp now, he's probably got about 20, 30 there. Wow. But that's after him holding it down, because I was like, yo, you're doing all of this, but no one's hearing it. So just take it slowly. But anyway, I come to link Sonny now in about 2021, end of 2021. And he was like, yo, Pav, you heard this Kartik guy, shit. I was like, bro, I showed you this motherfucker. And he was like, yeah.
It's about 3 years after he showed him to me. I was like, he was recording a song for me in it, and he was like, who's this beat? I was like, you ever heard this guy Kartik? He's like, you dickhead, this is the guy I showed you fucking 3 years ago, and I told you let's fucking do some shit with him.
Yeah. Anyway, like, so Bob, he started doing a couple things with beats. I was like, yo, fuck it. Because obviously Sonny's been in his rap bag differently, you know what I mean? I was like, all right, cool. So I said, let me put a little hook on this one. So put a hook down, it was all right. And then we just started going through more beats. It was like, oh shit.
He put a hook down, and I was like, all right, cool. And I had one more to do, one more Kartik joint. So we ran that one, and he was like, yo, let me hop on this one. I was like, bro, if you're going to get on 2 of them, we might as well do 4 more and just make a little EP in it.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, cool. I mean, and the way we work, we knock them out fast in it. So by the end of the night, we got like 6-7 songs.
Oh, wow.
And then we're like, okay, fuck it, album time then, innit?
Yeah, it was like 6-7. And also while we were doing it, it was like, oh shit, because then we clocked. It was like, I'm Indian, he's Indian. It's an Indian kid. So then we should start bringing out the little Indian references, and then the Asian, you know, the UK Asian. We just started flipping. Obviously, because the way that we rap is like, we're from the era where like, I'm stunting on him. You know what I mean? I'm flexing, he's flexing on me. But then we started getting techie with like the Indian references, and we're like, oh, you know about this, you know about
what?
This. So,
yeah, because
then it started.
Because we've been around each other so much, but it's never the Indian thing is never even, because you know what it is when you're a British person living in England, you don't think about, you know, you don't sit in a room with someone and be thinking, oh, I mean, you just be sitting in a room, vibes, innit?
Yeah, but also
all of a sudden it was like, oh shit, is that? Oh, you know about this? Like,
yeah.
I was
So
like,
listen,
oh,
and the
right,
thing is,
okay.
we've also like never. There's a lot of Asian people in the music scene who kind of like put the fact that they're Asian before they're a musician.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm an Asian rapper. Or, you know, if they put themselves in that box, they're kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's like a comfort
I
zone.
feel
so
like
they
we
have
tried to
compete,
not do that. I didn't
You know.
want anyone to ever to call me an Indian rapper.
Yeah.
I don't even like being called a UK rapper. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I think we've both been on that flex, so it's never really been a thing of. It's just like, oh, Indian guy flexing, I like it, you know. But it's never really gone. But then from we were spending so much time together and stunting on each other, like we was like, it became like a discovery because he's Punjabi, I'm Sindhi, so we're slightly different. Plus, also he's from UK, I'm from, you know, from Dubai. There's just a whole bunch of different things in there. So it was just a. So I speak Hindi, he speaks Punjabi, so there's similarities with the language, but it's not the same.
Okay.
So then, you know, obviously the jokes start coming out and this, and we just start taking the piss out of each other, and then
Bro,
there
there
was
one song where he was just like singing a hook over one of his beats, and he was just singing it just like messing around. I was like, oh, that sounds sick, you know. And he was like, oh, you know, just like joking, like you should rap in Punjabi.
Yeah, so this how that okay. So this one beat which you call Punjabi Munda on the album, which means Punjabi people. So there's a skit in the beginning, and I don't speak Punjabi, so I didn't really. I kind of got the gist of a couple of things, so I didn't know. He was like, "Do you know what he's saying?" He's like, because the guy's saying, "Yeah, I want to go to England. You know, England's popping. There ain't shit over here. I want to go there because you know, get some work." And the other guy's going, "What you want to come to England for? It's shit over here. What are you gonna do?" You know what I'm saying? There's shit here as well. So what are you gonna do? And then there's a big famous song by this Punjabi artist from Dubai called Sukhbir. It's like Punjabi Munda Pona Bhangra, which means Punjabi people do Bhangra.
Yeah, basically,
So what we're gonna
Punjabi
do when we
boys
come to
do your
England?
Bhangra.
Yeah, so I was like, fucking, I sang that hook, and then
He was just fucking about singing the hook.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, and he's like, oh, you should rap in Punjabi. I was like, man, because like, I don't have to speak Punjabi, but I don't ever speak it.
Yeah.
And the only person who speak to was my grandma.
Yeah.
And she passed like, 5-6 years ago, so I don't speak it at all now, innit? But bro, I started tapping in. I was like, yo, this must have been a part of my mind where I was unlocking, all the conversations that I'd heard in my house when I was a kid. Because I used to live with my uncles and my aunts, and they all, like, the whole house used to speak it back in the day, innit?
Right.
But then as everyone became more fucking English, we stopped using it, and everyone's on a full English, innit?
Right.
But so I didn't really know how tapped in or how much vocabulary I even had. But as I started looking and exploring, it was like, raw. Yeah, there's a whole chamber out there that I ain't touched yet.
So then he started doing that, and I was like, all right, cool. Started.
And then he was like, yo, if you're doing that, okay, I'm gonna do it, but in Sindhi.
Oh, in Hindi, yeah. So yeah, that kind of opened up, and then it was like, all right, cool, we're doing a full fucking Paki Safari Brown album now.
Yeah.
So we're like, because we didn't really think that, but it's like, all right, cool. So now Kartik's a kid from India, us two, 20 years, been doing this thing, but not really done the whole, we're Asian, but it's like, all right, cool. So like, just decided like, all the people we want to work with on the album have got to be like other Asian people who've been doing it in the
because there's bare other skilled brown people, but
they never not shouting about the fact that they're Asian to get that little press or whatever, you know.
Right.
So we're like, all right, cool. Well, Mongo is the first feature that we got on the whole album.
So that's Mongo from Mud.
Mongo from Mud. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I didn't even know Mongo was Asian until he told me, yo, let's get Mongo on the album. I didn't even know I don't know what I thought he was. I never thought about it, innit? But it's like, all right,
he's just hard, and also like that's for us. He's foundation for us lot. And then he come on the album, and he's still fucking, bruv. He's one of the hardest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mod Family, that time, Skinny, Mongo, Chester, Farmer. You know, aside from Black Twang, Roots Maneuver. You know, obviously MCD. That generation, they were the hardest, bro. You know what I mean? That's kind of that's the generation that's before us. And I think they set speed. You know what I mean? Those 7 MCs there anyway. For the time. Were the hardest.
And the fact they can still go.
But they're still hard.
Bro, he came here and he was spazzing, man. Like, he's actually on the album twice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and listen to the track that we done. We both done, what is it? Did we do 32? I think we did 32 bar verses. Rob, man came with a fucking F64 SBTV, like, and he just kept going. I had to fade man out in the end of the tune.
Bro, it's true, you know. We had to just pick a place to stop him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that's how the kind. Then it started. Then from that point, it just started opening up. It was like,
Right.
you know, I say Paki Safari is like, you know, I say these words it's like on some joke crazy shit.
Yeah.
But it's like that's what we were on with each other. I was like, oh, what kind of are you?
What kind of Paki?
What kind of Paki are you? What kind of Paki? You know what I mean? So
Wow.
it's mad, right? And then we go back to India. Like he's from here, so I've also never been to where I'm from in India. When it was old India, it's now in Pakistan. So I never really had like a. You know, we only go back 3 generations to where my grandparents live or my great-grandparents live. On my dad's side, my whole family had to jet from India. They left, and then my granddad went to Libya, Armenia, and then my dad was born in Lebanon. War broke out there, the man's in Wales in the 50s, and then moved to Dubai. I was born in Dubai, right? So that's already 5 countries displaced. And then my mom was born in South India, and then she moved to San Francisco. But where Sonny's from, their family went from India, and I think some of his family went to, where did they go? Kenya?
Yeah, so my mum's, her family went from India to Kenya. She was born in Kenya and that. Well, then my dad's family, they're in Punjab.
Yeah.
And my mum's family, they came from Punjab, but my dad's family was still in Punjab. I'd been to Punjab maybe when I was 10 or something.
Right.
And so see, when I was saying, we was in Amritsar doing what we was doing, and like I knew I'd been in Amritsar when I was a youth, yeah. So I phoned my dad. I said, "Yo, ain't that village like close to here?" And he was like, "Yo, you're about 2 hours away. You should go and see him if you're over there." Because I was like, "Yo, if they were 2 hours away from me in England, they didn't come to see me. I feel some way." So I was like, "Yo, let me go and see him."
Right.
And then I'd seen him, and that just opened up a whole new fucking. Because I knew them, like we all knew each other, innit? Like we're still on the phone and all that, but. You know, that just opened up a whole new world, really, innit?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So let me frame it. So basically, so the name of the album is
Thugs from Amritsar.
So what's the significance of Amritsar to the project?
Really, just our boy had that name, and we liked it, and we took it off him.
Yeah, so we just came up with this name.
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, you guys, if you guys want to use it, you know."
Yeah, he came up with the name like 2 years before we even started fucking with each other on this new wave.
Yeah, he already had the
some
name for something that he wanted to do in India. But then when he told us, we was like, "Yo, let's have that one." It was like, "Yeah, you take it."
So that's why we ended up going to Amritsar, right? Because love to go there, but if I go to India, I got
we probably wouldn't have gone to Amritsar because it's such a holy religious place.
And it's
like there's all sorts of crud around it,
yeah,
you know. But
it's a special.
It's like a Mecca for Sikh people, basically.
Yeah, and Golden Temple is probably one of the most like auspicious, like holy buildings in the world. Like you know, it's like in the top 5.
Yeah.
You know, if you think about Mecca, if you think about Al-Aqsa Mosque in Palestine, you know, Golden Temple is like
it's right up there
big.
like that.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like or like the Sistine Chapel, or you know, it's like that basically.
Yeah.
So the fact that we went, we ended up going there.
We only went there really because the album's called out. Let's just go and shoot some shit there. We had the label gave they hooked us up with a nice situation, and we went all around India.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, fuck it, we might as well go through there as well.
Right.
So if we hadn't been there, I wouldn't have put that call into them and gone and seen them.
Right.
Yeah, and also it's mad because it was like just to be in that temple was mad. Like when we were finally there, we were like, wow, we're actually in one of the most important places. And brother, when I saw the building, right, when I was not even the main building, when I saw the outside of the building, I got there and I was like,
yeah,
I got that through my body. I know everybody else did as well.
Yeah,
you know, it was really deep. And then we got to go inside. It was trippy because we were inside there. Like I know my grandma, that's one place that she's always wanted to go in her life. So, you know, like holler at my grandma, holler at my mom. Like we all spoke to our moms at the same time. Like, yeah, it was just deep. But so just to come back to what he was saying. So when we got to his village, the pin, right, and as I was saying, it's like my family, because it's in Pakistan now, like it's mad because Punjab is split right down the middle. Half of it is in Pakistan, half of it is in India.
Right.
Literally families, like, oh shit, you know what I mean, over there, literally the line was drawn.
Yeah.
Is that deep. So like but then there was a big displacement and the whole travel.
But the thing is, if you're in India, you can go there to your family. If you're
Pakistani,
on the Pakistani side,
it's a lot of drama. You can
get
hardly
into India.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So families got split for good.
Yeah.
Because some of those families, they got no money to go.
Yeah, like I saw
some literally families got split and that was it. You ain't allowed to see each other forever now. You're done.
I've seen this video of these two childhood friends, brothers. They've not seen each other for 60 years, 70 years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
crazy.
Since 1947, that's when all this shit happened. But sorry, just coming back to what I was saying. So when we got to Sonny's Pin, right, which is Pin is like a village, but it's let's say it's an area of like, you know, like 20, 30, 40 acres, right? That's the size of the area. But everything's spread out, you know, all families have grown and gone around the world, so they send money back, they build big yards. You know, it's not a village, you think a village.
Yo, bro, they made us think. They made us think that we're going back to a shithole.
Yeah.
It's not that,
we're
bro.
going back to some
Bro,
fucking luxury
like
paradise,
house, and it's like, you know, everyone's got fields. Like there's all the fresh spinach sagas. They're like, yeah, this is grown here. We bring it in, we eat it here. The weed is over there. We pull the weed over there. Do you know what I mean? And literally,
the chicken you're eating killed right there. The
chicken
cow, the milk from the cow right there.
Yeah, but it's like, bro, you'll see the videos when they come out how epic it is. But for me to go back there was deep because it's like that. I never, you know, obviously I'm from India. I never lived there, so I already feel it. I never lived there since I was a baby, and my parents didn't. So I already feel like a little bit displaced, but I've got a lot of affinity with it because, you know, I've got an Indian passport and I speak Hindi, and you know, grew up with Hinduism as like default religion or whatever. I'm not, but going back there, that's what really made me clock that shit. We don't have our land that our families had for 300, 400 years, you know, because the shit that you can trace my family back 500, 600 years, but it got cut because we had to move, right? So all of our shit that was there is now it's not ours anymore. So right. I felt like, so being in his village was the first, even though I go back to see my family in the cities or Madras or Chennai or Bombay or whatever, it's different because they're living in a house or apartment in the city. So there isn't that. Yeah, it's just, it was for me, it was fucking deep going there. So, yeah, man.
Wow, man. So, like, it sounds like this album is almost going to be like a gateway in a sense of where we're opening up the channels now, you know, going deep. And so officially, the name, where did the name of your group come from?
Oh, Pataka Boys.
Yeah.
So the first time we went to my village, my little cousin there, boom, so everywhere he goes, like, the first thing they told me, they were like, yo, be careful of him. He's only this fucking tall. They were like, be careful of him. Yeah. He's got fucking lighters everywhere. He's got bangers on him. He's fucking nutter in it. I'm like, okay, I reckon I could deal with him, though. Bro, this geezer's fucking out of his mind. Yeah, he's just lighting fireworks everywhere we go. Yeah, bangers, this and that. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you.
You take his matches away from him.
He starts fucking, like, you take the lighter or the match away from him. He'll just. We were doing a photo shoot. We took the lighters away from him, and he was like, "All right, I'm fucking up every one of your photos now."
Wow.
He's 4 years old.
Yeah. So it's like, they're giving back my shit, or I'm fucking up your photo shoot. But yeah, so I started calling him Pataka Boys. That means firework kid, innit? And then boom, when we got back there a couple of years later, man, the whole family was calling him that, and everyone was in the village was walking around going Pataka Boy, innit? So I was like, do you know what? This sticks. It's in people's heads. It's like, we got loads of footage with everyone saying it. It's like, you know, fuck it. That's what we're calling it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And well, it was either that or Paki Safari.
Right. So Mongo's featured on the album. Tell us about any of the singles to look out for that's going to be coming out soon.
Well, we got, I don't know when you're dropping this, but we got a record. We got the first single dropping tomorrow.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be this will come out Monday. So we're talking about Friday. Just
Friday. Papi Larry out now. Papi Larry is just the.
So that's the official first single.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second single is called Megaloblast.
Right.
Which is, you have to look it up. It's a weird chemical in this synthesized
heroin. Yeah, there's
they smoke in the pin.
Yeah, so where I'm from, there's a is it epidemic or pandemic of endemic of they're smoking this thing called chitta,
right? Which
is basically synthesized heroin. But it's like it's real bad. It's a problem out there. It's a problem out there because just like going back, it's more of like a political thing. Basically, the area that I'm from. Is by the equator and it's all flat land, great land to grow stuff, you know what I mean? And politically, the Hindus are having a war with Punjab and taking that land off them slowly off all the farmers in it. So basically, it just ended up with like epidemic or endemic of these people. Like so you have to be joking about. these man drinking so much liquor before the interview and all that. Like, it's a flex and all that, but also it's fucked. Because they're all fucked, smoking this shit, drinking that shit.
And it's kind of because the stuff's going to, it's pretty much Monsanto is behind the whole thing, and the opioid epidemic, which is over there, which is created, which is really fucked. But obviously, you know, I don't want to get into the Indian politics side of it too much, but as a byproduct of that and the kind of war between the Hindu nationalist right-wing kind of populist main party and what the area which is where most of the Sikh people are, all the farmers are. You know, that's kind of ended up in they've kind of facilitated that.
I don't know if it's a war on Sikh people, it's a war on whoever's got that land.
Yeah.
We want that fucking land for us, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
but yeah, so the second single's called Megaloblast, and that's a compound in this synthetic heroin. Because we saw this shit everywhere.
Yeah, we saw it like, you know,
everywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
we were like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, at first we thought it was cocaine in it.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that shit ain't cocaine. Yeah, that shit is.
So is it worse or?
It is. Yeah,
I mean, it's
worse.
like
unregulated.
Bro, do you know what? It's like smoking smack, but a lab version of smack.
No, basically it's smack, and it's got some like synthesized like amphetamine type of thing in it, and then it's got this megaloblastic stuff which hits your like dilates your white blood cells or some shit.
It fucks up your immune system.
So it's bruv.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
It's like a cross between like smack and kind of spicy. Well, the chemicals, like,
it's a spicy smack.
It doesn't make you mung out like that, but I feel like the dirtiness of what spice is mixed with heroin and some kind of other shit, and it's unregulated. It's all made like on the Pakistan side of the Punjab border.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just peak.
Yeah, it's messy, man.
Yeah.
So on your trips to both trips to India, you managed to shoot a lot of footage and videos for the singles that are coming out, and some of the obviously we're gonna show clips throughout this interview, but I mean, tell us about, like, visually, it's really stunning, like some of the videos you've done out there, man.
Everywhere you see, the thing about India is like
everywhere you look, a backdrop for a video.
Everywhere you look is unbelievable, and even like the wear and tear because of the monsoon seasons on the walls and the buildings. It's just, you know, the way that the black mold grows through, but then it's got like layers and layers of like adverts which are painted in like different like Indian typography, so it kind of looks like it's big fat graph pieces clean, but then it's kind of ripped and it's got layers and layers and layers, and then, you know, a lot of the buildings have got like black marble with like gold and, you know, gold embossed like things that are like the kerning is slightly off, so
but then all of a sudden someone's plastered all over the marble and half the plaster's fallen off.
Yeah, but then also you look at it and then like this, you know, sometimes any you go into turn onto a normal street in Bombay, there's 1,000 motherfuckers on that street outside. You know what I mean? They will disappear, and then like another 100 people coming who are living on that street, on the street in the night, not even the people in the buildings, the tenants. So like everywhere is crazy, but then also you go outside and suddenly you see like the nature kick in.
Yeah.
And the nature from the north is so different. It goes all the way from the Himalayas, all the way through
That's
those
the one
lands,
thing
through
about
the
India, you
farmlands,
know.
by the time you get to the, like, go down the south, and it turns more into jungle. By the time you get to Kerala,
bro, it could be split up into 5
rainforest,
countries,
like,
and you think they're all different countries.
Yeah,
because you go from like I was saying, the architecture, the nature, the dialect, the food. It all is bare different. It could be literally 5-6 different countries in India.
More, like even if you go to the northeast to like Assam and Guwahati and those places, people look like they're kind of like Chinese.
Yeah.
So not full Chinese, but it's like, okay, what are you like? Okay, they look like they could be Vietnamese, they could be like Nepali, you know?
They're on their own safari.
There's like 2, 3, they're on their own safari. And all the nature changes, and also the food changes. Like you get momos, which are from up there, which are like kind of big dim sum type of things, and it's close to Tibet, and it's just fucking, you know what I mean? Like it's mad.
Then you got Goa and all that, and that's all like jungle, and that's got its own fucking
like, you know, that's been
history.
That was taken over, colonized by the Portuguese people. So you get there and it's like jungle with pure Portuguese architecture, and like the language is kind of mixed up, and, you know, even like all the land laws in Goa about owning land and buying land and house transfers and all that stuff, it goes back to these fucking Portuguese colonial rules that are written. So like, you know, trying to figure something out. It's mad. So like, then you go down further to Kerala, which is, it's actually a matriarch. It's the only matriarchy in India as well. And like, again, that's a much more Catholic and Christian place, but then the alcohol rules are completely different there. Yeah, man. And then also you go into Kerala, they eat a lot of beef down there as well, so you can get beef curries, and it's just it's
and you know what the other thing that ends up dividing it a lot, like how we said nature, architecture, all that, but then you got all the religions, and they throw that shit in the pot, and it's just like
religions, but then there's the caste system as well, which kind of
there's
much
there's
also the
going
class
on.
system, but then there's also the political, and then there's the corrupt. Yeah, it's crazy. So and then there's a religious side, and there's also the spiritual side, and yeah,
it's a lot, man. Like when bro, in the busy places in India, yeah, like obviously you got where the village bits and all that, and they're like calm, serene, and all that. But in the busy bits of India, yeah, like in the heart of Delhi and all that, where the city don't sleep. Like one time, well, we've been on the sesh, hadn't slept for like 2 days, 3 days, and then we had to go catch a flight somewhere. And I was like, man, if I had to go to sleep now, I'd be screwing, because no matter how many windows you shut, or you hear outside, it's beep, 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 and it just go all day, no rest, no, it don't stop.
And the hustle is strong. Like you can be in Bombay, Colaba, you see like the kids the slightly more touristy areas, kids just, shotting whatever on the street, come to my store, watches, trinkets, whatever the fuck it is. Like, soles for your slippers, what you need, Guinness Book of Records, 1984.
What did we see that guy, what was his hustle? He was sitting on the subway, he had a scale in front of him.
He just had a scale
so
there.
You want to weigh yourself, pay.
Yeah, but those kids, they'll come up to you and they start speaking, they'll ask you where you're from, and they'll start hustling you in your language.
Or they'll try and get your number
Russian,
and say, any work for me in England.
German, Spanish,
any work for me in
Chinese,
England.
Whatever language you say, they'll pull the kid up and start fucking flipping you in that language.
Damn.
Yes, man.
That's mad. So what's the hip hop scene like in India?
It's actually popping, bro.
Part of the reason why I've got into it now, and I feel like, okay, boom, this is cool now, sorry to cut you off, Pav. Because before, I felt like they were doing an imitation of American music. Just like it at one point UK rap was.
Yeah.
But and also, it's kind of only, people have been doing it for about 20 years now, but I say it's really started to pop. It's the last 10 years is when it really came into its own. Yeah. And it kind of went real quick, and I think it was the advent of smart, like everybody having internet and smartphones, because there was these battle ciphers that were going on, where you had to text your battle bars into this server, and like then people would comment and all. It was like a forum, right? So nobody knew what anybody looked like. But then as really, you could film yourself, put your stuff up. What that did was suddenly all the kids who were into hip hop in every single city, every single village at the same time just got online, and it just turned into this force, So I've seen the way I've seen people blow up, like even when Divine came out. I remember when Divine came out, and then it was within we went from 4,000, 5,000. Suddenly in a year he's got a couple million, because it was the time when everything was blowing up. Everybody was, and it was the hip hop scene in India is beautiful because I actually got to give it to the breakdancers. They were the first one to bust it, because it was all the breakdancers in the slums, and they're the same, when I say slums, it's like the favelas, same type of thing. And all of those guys were flexing, and they got really good, started competing worldwide, but then they're the ones who kind of broke it out of there. And then obviously all the the hip hop kids who were rapping really well suddenly connected as well. But now, because there's such a big place, there's strength in numbers, and everybody was on that who's the illest flex as opposed to who's drippiest flex, which is now, it just kind of, the illest people kind of got to the top and they blew quickly, So from Divine putting his first shit out officially, getting bigger, within 3 years there's a fucking Bollywood film made about him. Oh, wow. So it's gone from here to here, and he's the first dude to sign with Mass Appeal with Nas, and they brought Mass Appeal to India. Def Jam is in India. Everybody's in India trying to flex. But this guy Mo, who we're working with on Azadi Records, he moved out there about 10 years ago, and then started thinking about this label about 7-8 years ago. And it's just kind of organically grown from there. So this label that we're on, Azadi Records, is kind of somewhere between what Def Jam was in the 90s and Raucous was, Def Jam was in the early 90s and what Raucous was mid to late 90s. Yeah. So is that
underground.
Yeah, and he's kind of always back artists, underground artists from different cities, but also got, you know, like the bass is real skills, but it's also got like a different flex and kind of got some shit to say.
Okay.
So, and he's the homie from here. He's known us. He took Akala, Rodney P, like all out to India and stuff. He's there doing that. It just seemed like, come on, bro, we got some smoke now.
So the timing wise for this project is almost like perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, because like they got some good quality music coming out there now, and you know what? It's not trying to copy no US shit. It's them rapping in their dialect. It's more so trappier beats and more like 140 type.
But there's all sorts.
In fact, there is all sorts.
But obviously, you know, it's kind of like, I was gonna say they're in their like bad boy era, like a couple of years ago. So everyone's flossing, flexing, you know, everything's looking money in the videos and shit. You know, so it's kind of like their jiggy era. But music wise, like you've got dudes like fucking Divine. He's made a joint with Russ. He's got joints with. But then if you go South India now, South India is a completely different place. The language is different. In fact, South Indian languages, I've been saying this since I was a youth. I was like, if these motherfuckers start rapping, it's gonna be crazy. And if they start, especially if they start spitting on jungle and doing all of that stuff, which is all happening now, and it's fucking nuts, dude. Like it's crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So have you looked at, I don't know, collaborating with more Indian artists going forward?
We got a few on the album.
Yeah.
We got a group called See Them More Tour on the album. They're on the label as well.
Sikandar Karlon from Chandigarh, a good Punjabi artist. It's got MC Lit was on the album, but that joint's not making the album. But yeah, there's, bro, like, again, like, I've been going out there a lot, so I've got about at least 30, 40 collabs on, you know, that I'm due to have done already.
I'm trying to get some of them rappers out there to rap over the shit that I rap over, you know, the type of beats that I make in it, the old school breaks and all that shit, and like sampling these soul records or whatever, because I feel like they ain't done that yet. You know what I mean?
So you guys
the fucking Punjabi West Side Gun.
Nice. So the album's done. Is there a release date for the album yet, or
21st of June?
21st of June.
Yeah.
So we've got a single that came out on Friday. Got another single that's coming out next week.
Yeah, next Friday.
And is there a launch party coming up?
Nah.
There was, but I'm going stateside and he's here, so kind of.
So we're probably either going to do that. We're probably going to do a party for this, maybe like October, November.
Yeah.
We're due to go back out to India as well.
Yeah. So
maybe November time. So you can like do a little tour or something there. So.
Right. That's amazing, man. So so for people that have not, I guess, you know, what are the expectations for this album when it lands? Because to me, from what I've heard, like you guys have played me a preview as well, it sounds like, and the visuals, it's just some next level business.
I appreciate that, bro. Bro, you know what? We really don't know, because it's kind of like this is uncharted territory in a way, isn't it? Because obviously, like all the records we put out, but we haven't done this in this situation with a label like this, and you know, in this language situation with it being, you know, an album that's really
because already like the kind of stuff that we're making is already niche for hip hop in a way. Do you know what I'm saying? Where hip hop is now, and even within kind of like the boom bap sphere, you know, this is like a left.
It's still quite left field.
This is a left field kind of like
you know what I mean?
Flex on it. So then to be doing that with the Indian stuff as well, I don't know, man. I personally think the visuals are gonna help. Things connect. We made sure that we translate everything into Punjabi, Hindi as well. So I think I don't know, for us it's like I don't really, neither of us like just doing shit that other people have done. You know what I mean? So for us, we're both really proud of this shit.
I think that's the main thing. We love the album. Like when we listen to it, we're like, yo, you know, we've listened to it so many times now, because obviously we've had to go through the mix and master process, and you know, with all that shit, you end up listening to your own album 100 times easily. Do you know what I mean? Over the course of making it, and we still ain't bored of it. So I think we're quite good judges of a barometer of what, you know, good quality music is. If we still like it after 100 listens, I know other people are going to be gassed off it. Do you know what I mean? And the one thing is, like, you know, it's an album coming out in India on an Indian label, but like 90% of it is still in English. So people who fuck with us anyway, I still have full accessibility into it. It's not like it's like, oh, all of a sudden these men are rapping in a different language and we can't get with the album.
Yeah.
90% of it is fully in English, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the people who listen to us are quite accommodating, and they're not like,
Yeah.
you know.
So obviously you speak about accessibility, and with the visuals, have you got like subtitles obviously in different dialects, so which is innovative for me. I've not seen that yet. So what was whose idea was that?
I think that was Pav's. I'm not sure. I think basically because what it was is because I'm rapping because we're rapping in English, but the times when we're not, let's say he's rapping in Hindi, we wanted both English people to know what we're saying, and Punjabi people to know what we're saying. So on the videos, it's actually got two different subtitles that's going on at the time. It's either English and Punjabi, or Hindi and Punjabi, or Punjabi and Hindi, depending on what language we're rapping in at the time, innit? And it was basically to try and make sure everyone's fully included. So it's like, let's say you're English and you're listening to the album, but you can't understand 10% of it. You're still gonna know what that 10% means. Right. Do you know what I mean?
That's sick, man. And Pav, the videos, the visuals are stunning, man. Who's behind the filming and the editing?
The edit was by our boy Megan Cutty. Our guy Bucks Vibble filmed the.
Are they UK based?
No. We got them through the label. But Pav's worked with Megan previously. Yeah, they're both sick, man. You know, and we got loads more videos to. Like, we showed you like what 3-4 of them. We got like another 4 or 5 being made right now. So.
That all of them are shot in India?
We shot one actually, so we've got a banger singer called Jas. We got him on there, and he basically he's from like Southall sides. So we went Southall a couple of weeks ago and shot a video over there. Right. Yeah. So,
yeah. But yeah, I think the whole thing was like, we just go, because I think the way it is now, it's like, I'm a firm believer of like, you can shoot anything just as long as you shoot it properly and you have like an artistic vision. So it's really finding people who know what they're shooting. It doesn't look it doesn't look like you're making too much effort, but from, your angles, from, your settings and everything, it's like, cool, let's just make everything that we do look like a fucking movie from here. So, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's all of these contrasts, like, so there's us over there, just us over there, for people who know us, is already a contrast, because it's like completely, even though we're brown, we're Indian, we're there, it's still like,
but then also, the stuff that we got access to over there, it ain't just what a normal Indian guy from England has access to.
And plus also like just the way that we're on a basic level, what we're wearing, situation, all right, so boom, we're just head to toe fly, even Indian designers, but we're sitting in a rickshaw, or now we're like there at the Golden Temple, or we're at a temple, but then it's just, or we're just looking raggo as fuck like we do, but then now we're in a 5-star hotel. It's just all of these mad juxtapositions that kind of exist over there, but there's so much going on that people don't really clock it, do you know what I'm saying? Because there's so much noise, but it's like, yo, just stop.
It was kind of easy because it's happening to us at the time, and
it's just like,
we just gotta say, yo,
just
turn
stop.
the camera on.
Just like stop and look at this shit. This shit is fucking crazy in front of you. I mean, just because you're used to it and it's all rare. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the things like the shit that we see, because we understand we're from there as well, and we understand how we're from outside as well. So we're like, yo, this is like. The two things
we get a different kind of looking
on shit,
being from here and then going over there. Do you know what I mean? And it was a great learning experience, to be honest.
Right. So with a project special as this, man, are you going with the traditional rollout, or is there anything that you're going to do differently, especially the way things are going right now?
Well, do you know what? Now, in fact, we're going for the. I mean, he's been doing it, with these rollouts, but for me. My rollouts, especially because I'm like a vinyl guy, specifically, we're going for a full traditional rollout. We got a good label behind us, and they're doing everything properly. We've got great lead times, so yeah.
Singles, video, we do.
You know what? We're doing it how it used to be done. Yeah. You know how you used to do it? You had the DJ list, you had all the promo right, you had all of this shit going on. Yeah. Not boom. Oh, my record's out next week. Please buy it.
And again, like this is an album that you put on and press play at start.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're kind of giving it that level of.
So the sequencing's on point, everything's on
Bro,
point.
yeah.
bro.
We spent a lot of time on the finer details.
Bro, it's like recording the joints. Right, the amount of time we spent recording the joints is probably about, if you take the total, it's probably about 2 days in the studio.
Mm.
The rest of it is just all the sauce, you know?
Yeah. That's usually how it goes, man. That's incredible, bro. So just like for any people that are not obviously like they're still on the, you know, still trying to figure out like what the project's about. How do we summarize it like in a nutshell, man? And why people need to hear this joint?
Just the waviest. I don't know, man. It's like, how do you summarize it? It's just, yo, you never seen India look like this shit before, bro.
Yeah,
like, you never seen.
Yeah, I will tell you what. Like we spoke about this when we've been working on the songs when we were doing sessions. It's like they haven't. Nobody's seen this before because nobody's done this before.
Right.
Pav coming from not only the background but also his musical background, and then my musical background, all the things he's done, all the things I've done. And we ain't really done that much music together over the years. And we've done a handful of songs in 20 years.
Right.
But we spent a lot of time with each other, you know what I mean? And so it's like bringing those two elements, getting this producer who was a youth when we brought him in.
Yeah.
And then us going to India, having access to the stuff we had in India, having this label on board, like all of these elements, it's never been done before.
And also the fact that it's like a mad discovery process for us, you know, going on, because like, you know, obviously we're friends, but since you start spending a lot of time working on an album with someone, sense of humor gets deep. But then also it was like that, oh, it's because obviously we're fucking Indian people, have been displaced for so many years, but we still have our roots, but the roots are different. So that's kind of all there, you know, there's the energy of that. But I think just the fact, also this kind of strand of hip hop, rap music, this is the era that we come from, you know. So it's like,
yeah, we're still making that rap shit.
You know, we're rapping like, you know, when
the album is that rap shit.
You know what it was all
There's
about.
some
Being
bangers on there.
You're not getting on unless you're a lyricist, you know.
Yeah.
So for us to come full circle to the point where that's at the center of this, you know, it's what we do.
That is still the epicenter of everything. The rhymes and the quality of the bars. Do you know what I mean? And just everything else is all the what do they call it? Bells and whistles.
Yeah.
But we're still rapping.
Yeah, and like we're
like we was before.
You know, it's like when
now,
you're like, oh yeah, you come back, you meet your crew, whatever. And you're like, oh, what you got? I got this now. You know what I'm saying? Every single thing is just like a one up.
Yeah.
And
it weren't like man went to India and made an India album.
You know what I mean?
Man was we was making the album and then we went over there and explored that world. But the album, like we took them a pretty much finished album and then we done more songs over there and that.
Yeah.
But you know, we knew what we was on musically before we even got into any deal with anyone. You know what I mean?
That's dope, bro.
I hope that's a good way to summarize it.
Yeah, that summarized it nicely, man.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to the more singles that are dropping. And the album, just remind me again when the album comes out.
21st of June.
21st on all digital platforms. And when's the vinyl drop?
Soon after.
Yeah.
Soon after.
Yeah.
Wicked, man. And in terms of like, is there socials for the group yet? Or
Pataka Boys, Pataka Boys. Or just check my Malbec, which is SonnyJim. I'm Pav4n with Pav4n.
Wicked, man. That sums it up nicely, man. Pav,
yo, always, bro.
Sonny,
Always a pleasure, man.
thank you both for taking time to kick it with the
appreciate your
Connoisseurs,
time,
man. Make sure you check out the album when it drops. And yeah, man, until next time. Peace.
Peace.
You can't see the forest if you're looking at the tree.